Namaste and welcome to today's episode at Happy Cooking. With Christmas arriving, everyone is in a holiday mood. With Christmas vibes catching up, what's better than baking a Christmas plum cake? Last year, so we have prepared the classic Christmas plum cake, which has rum and eggs in it, and it's baked in an electrical oven. The difference is that today we are preparing a Christmas plum cake which does not have eggs, does not have alcohol, and it's not going to be prepared in a conventional oven. If you at the end like this recipe, then definitely like it, share it, and if you are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and press the notification bell. This recipe is a little bit time consuming, a little bit longer than the other ones, but it's worth watching, so keep watching.
First step is to soak all the dry fruits and nuts. I have taken all these dry fruits and nuts. You can take any dry fruit and nut of your choice. And I will tell you the quantity, but a little bit of here there is okay. I have taken here this deep bowl into which goes 1/3 cup of roughly chopped almond, 1/3 cup of roughly chopped cashew nuts, 1/3 cup of roughly chopped walnuts. Coming over to the dry fruits now. 1/3 cup of golden raisins. These are big. If you want, you can chop them. 1/3 cup of dark black raisins, half a cup of chopped cherries, half a cup of dry cranberries, half a cup of chopped prunes, half a cup of chopped dates, half a cup of chopped dry apricots, and last but not least, half a cup of colorful tutti frutti. Give them a stir just to mix them a little bit. To soak, I'm going to use here TETRAPACK sugar-free orange juice. This is because orange juice adds a very nice flavor to plum cake. And this volume here, as you can see, is 180 ml. So I'm going to first try pouring 1 TETRAPACK of orange juice. Let's pour it. But as you can see, this is clearly not enough to soak all my dry fruits. So I'm going to add about 70 ml of another quantity of orange juice. Okay, so see, now they're all very nicely soaked. This is how much you have to add. And I'm going to cover it and keep them soaking for 24 to 36 hours outside the fridge at room temperature. If you are using fresh orange juice, do not soak them for more than 2 to 3 hours outside fridge. Inside fridge, you can keep them for even up to 2 weeks, no problem. If you want to use them instantly, then you just have to cook all these dry fruits and nuts in orange juice for 2 to 3 minutes, either on oven top or in microwave, and then cool them down to room temperature before you use them in cake batter. Okay, so this step is done now. Now let's move on to the next step, which is preparing our caramel syrup. So in this non-stick pan, I'm using 5 tablespoons each of white sugar and brown sugar. Just give them a start to mix them, and on a low flame, first allow them to start melting. See here, they have started melting. Now you can bring it up to the medium temperature and keep stirring constantly till the sugar has completely melted. Brown sugar adds a very nice flavor and a bittersweet taste, which is very classic to plum cake. And look at this, it has started melting now. And see how shiny, golden and gorgeous it looks. See, it's quite thick now and it's very hot. Okay, now you have to remove it from fire and allow it to cool down just a little bit. Once it has cooled down slightly, then about 8 to 10 tablespoons of warm water. Remember, warm water. Add it little by little. Don't worry if the caramel looks semi-solidified at this stage, it will melt. See, it has dissolved and the syrup has started boiling nicely. The top layer is looking so foamy. This is how you want it. And at this stage, on high flame, keep stirring and cooking it for at least 3 minutes. Okay, 2 to 3 minutes should be good enough to come up with this kind of dark, shiny, gorgeous caramel syrup. Switch off the flame and have to shift it to another bowl and allow it to cool down. It has to cool down actually to room temperature before you use it in cake batter. Third step is to prepare the cake tins. I have taken here a 6.5 inch and a 6 inch round cake mold, grease them thoroughly inside and then line them with baking paper. Now when you are lining the sides, remember to keep the height of the baking paper such that it is about 1 to 1.5 inch above the edge of the cake tin. This is just to prevent the cake batter from spilling over, just in case it swells up a lot. Okay, so in the similar way, I'm preparing here the second cake mold as well. Cake mold's done now. Next step, taking 1 and a 3/4 cup of milk at room temperature, 8 tablespoons of refined oil, and 1.5, that is 1.5 to 2 teaspoons of vanilla essence. You can use chocolate essence also. Mix them thoroughly and then add 10 tablespoons of brown sugar into it. Keep stirring till it has melted completely. So now you can see our brown sugar has completely dissolved. Shift it to the bowl where you will finally prepare your cake batter. Our wet mix is done. Now we'll prepare the dry ingredient mix. I have taken here 3¼ cup of flour. Now in 2 batches or 3 batches, shift it through a strainer. Shifting the flour is always must because that makes the flour lighter and you can ensure that there are no lumps. Now shifting the flour is done. Next is 3 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa powder. You can use sweetened cocoa powder as well. Cocoa powder adds a very nice color, but it also adds richness and nice flavor as well. See, because of this only I'm straining it. Now adding 1 teaspoon of cinnamon powder, 1 teaspoon of dry ginger powder, half a teaspoon of nutmeg powder and half a teaspoon of allspice powder. With that, I'm adding here 1 teaspoon of baking powder and half a teaspoon of baking soda. Strain all of them. See the lumps, so pass them thoroughly. And then all these dry ingredients, mix them evenly by just running a whisker through them. No vigorous mixing, just to make them a little bit airy and evenly mix them. Dry ingredient mix is now ready. Before we prepare the cake batter, let's prepare our oven. Oh no, we are not using oven today. We are using traditional, normal, regular, large size pots. So these two pots, keep them on very high flame for 10 minutes. Keep them covered with a lid, and if the lids have this kind of a hole like the one that I'm using, make sure that you block this hole by using any paper or aluminium foil, something like that. So while our home style oven is getting ready, let's mix the cake batter. So into the wet mix, in 2 batches or 3 batches, little by little, add the dry mix. No vigorous mixing, no beating, no whisking. Very light-handedly, just by cut and fold method, keep mixing the dry ingredients into the wet mix. See how light-handedly I'm mixing it? It is necessary because if you vigorously mix it or beat it, you're going to release all the air that you have actually incorporated in it. See, the mixture is now thoroughly mixed, but it looks very thick, isn't it? Don't worry, we've got more things to mix into this to bring it to the right consistency. Next goes our caramel syrup. See the dark color of the caramel syrup, the magic that it does, you will see that now. Once the caramel syrup is thoroughly mixed into our cake batter, look at it, the cake batter looks so gorgeous, such a nice color and a very good shine also. Next goes the dry fruit mix. Orange juice. Let me show you. See how nicely they have soaked the orange juice completely. They're soft, plump and juicy now. Now I'm going to add all these dry fruits and nuts into our cake batter. And we will be folding them in, mixing them in into our cake batter. If you have excess orange juice left into the pot, just keep it aside. And see how nicely colorful, shiny it looks. Add at this stage 2.5 to 3 tablespoons of white vinegar to activate the baking soda. Do this step just before you are ready to bake your cakes. Now pour this mixture into the cake tins. Make sure you don't fill them up more than 3/4. Leave some room for the cakes to swell up. and smoothen the surface using your spatula. I'm doing the same thing now with my second cake. Just smoothen the surface like this. An important step is to tap them on the kitchen top to release any air bubbles that might have been entrapped. Once this has been done, decorate the top surface of the cakes using the nuts and dry fruits of your choice, just to make them look prettier. After all, these are made for special occasions. See how beautiful they look? They are now ready to go into the oven. So, open the lid. They're very hot now, so be very careful. Inside, place a stand like this, place the cake, cover the lid. Do the same with the other one. Like this, on medium flame, you're going to bake them for 10 to 15 minutes. So I'm going to come back after 10 to 15 minutes. In 10 to 15 minutes, you will have to reduce the flame to the minimum, which is what I'm going to do now. Okay, in about 12 minutes, I reduce the flame to minimum, and at this, we are going to bake them for about 55 to 60 minutes. Be patient, it does take time, but it's worth it. In about 55 minutes, I'm checking the smaller cake. See, the toothpick has come out clean. This is ready now. I'm going to take it out and keep it outside for cooling down. About another 10 minutes, because this one is a bigger one. So in another 10 minutes, I'm checking this one also. See, oh yeah, the toothpick here also has come out clean. This is also ready. Now I've taken out both the cakes. Allow them to cool down for 1 to 1.5 hours, keeping them covered with a cloth. After 1.5 hours, when they come back to room temperature, make sure you brush them with orange juice. This step is very important. It keeps the cake moist, soft, and it also adds flavor. You can repeat it in another half an hour once more. See how gorgeous they look, shiny, and such a nice refreshing flavor from the orange juice. Now in another half an hour time, I am ready to demold my cakes. See, even the bottom part looks so gorgeous, so properly, thoroughly cooked, and very nice color to both my plum cakes. The smell that I'm smelling now, I wish you could smell it. As a finishing touch, just dust them lightly with icing sugar to give them that typical traditional Christmas plum cake look. Look at them. Our super moist, super rich, absolutely delicious, soft and fluffy Christmas plum cakes are ready. I can confidently tell you, if you follow all the tips and tricks of this tried and tested home style recipe, you will also come up with such perfect Christmas plum cake. That too, without any eggs, without any alcohol, and without even any traditional oven. Take a lot of time, patience, but it's worth it, trust me. See how easily the knife runs through it? It's that soft and moist. See how soft and bouncy it is, and so richly filled with all the dry fruits and nuts. Gorgeous, isn't it? Store them in an airtight container in the refrigerator for up to 1 week and just heat them up before you serve them.
Thank you for watching this video and being with me all this while. I hope you like it. Let me know through your comments. With this Christmas, of course, celebrate your way, but do not forget to spread the love and the happiness. Merry Christmas.